Hey everybody. Wanted to announce some very exciting news, which is Lucas has graduated from college.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lucas. Um, got your diploma. What are your plans now?
So right now it's working at the comic shop and then huh, I never actually thought of that. What's the point of this? Huh.
Just keep going.
But what if I don't want to?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel weekly polls for June 21st. Lots of fun books this week. Really, really big week. A lot of stuff I'm excited to talk about. A lot of stuff I'm excited to read. Lucas and I both. Lucas, what is your first pick?
So my first pick is Titans #2. Last issue we saw Wally West get shot in the spine, and with the few seconds that he had, he ran around, saved some people, and died at the front of the computer at the New Titans Tower,
That's what
writing
this
"Solve
cover
My
is?
Murder."
I was like, Jesus Christ.
What?
Okay. I didn't realize that's what this cover was.
Yeah. So it's him just dead. Immediately. That was like how they opened the first issue, and so
Bruh.
now it's literally them trying to solve who the fuck shot him, and also how the hell did a bullet actually like catch him by surprise. But yeah, no,
Damn.
it's
All right.
pretty interesting start, honestly.
That's not where I saw that going, but. New Titan series. One of our members is dead. All right.
Immediately.
First up for me this week is Cult of Carnage Misery #2. That's right. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this isn't involved in Carnage Reigns right now. I thought that would have been nice. Instead, um, Liz was sort of just almost killed by a possessed Norman Osborn child. I forgot the name of which one, but in Carnage Reigns, she was just chilling in the bathtub and she almost got killed. But anyway, this has been a really fun series, dealing with all of the Life Foundation symbiotes, which is always cool. Um,
Yeah.
the whole rainbow of symbiotes. But yeah, this is actually surprisingly fun and a good symbiote tale.
Yeah, Liz has a lot of characterization here that honestly feels very untapped. Like she's the wife of Harry Osborn. There's a lot of baggage with that. Definitely.
A lot of baggage and yes, being without Harry, but also being like the head of a company like as big as Life, the Life Foundation. So it's
Yeah.
a pretty big deal for her.
Hopefully we also figure out how Meridius is controlling the Life Foundation, because we learned that he's basically in charge of the Life Foundation from the Venom book. So how does he do that? Because Liz is technically the head of the corporation, but somehow he has actual like ability to
Well, I've
affect
yet to
what's
see
happening.
if it really ties into that bigger symbiote lore. I don't know if it will, honestly, but
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
yeah.
What's next up for you?
Next up for me is The Sickness. Sometimes you just look at a cover and you're just like, yeah, this looks cool. And honestly, this is kind of that for me. There's just something really, really eerie about this cover. From the font to just the fact that it's a nice suburban neighborhood where a woman's just stabbing in the middle of the road someone, a kid it looks like. Um
It's
it's
a
pretty.
it's a like a rolling pin for baking.
Oh, it's not even
Yeah,
I thought it was a knife. Yeah, a
just
rolling
bludgeoning
pin.
him. Yeah,
So, very very vivid image that immediately makes me actually interested. And by indie developer, indie publisher that I've never heard of, Uncivilized Books, which I think is very fitting name wise. But the summary so far isn't that crazy, but it's definitely interesting. Where Basically, it's talking about a teenager who lived in a small town, has hallucinations, and then there's a presence stalking him, and then there's a war vet 10 years later. And basically, a white housewife kills her entire family, and the one kid is now in the care of him. And basically, how it's like they're both like tied together by this thing called the man. So interesting, very vague, very like indie. So I'm actually pretty excited to read this.
Word looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Next up for me is The Avengers #2.
Hell yeah.
I am super, super curious to see what Jed MacKay has planned for Kang. Issue 1 left us on the cliffhanger, reminding us that in the Timeless special, Kang was left almost dead by the Round Table emissaries that he fought off against. This is going to be very exciting to see what his plan is for Kang and the future of Marvel. Looks like it's going to be more of a cosmic level threat.
Yeah, which is always appreciated, to be honest. But yeah, no, I mean, the first issue started off so strong. We got a rundown on basically every character, why they're here, why they're working the team. I think, honestly, out of every character, I love the characterization for Vision, especially.
Yes,
Vision
that
to
was a
me,
highlight.
yeah, realizing that during Axe he didn't get a judgment at all is actually crazy, because he's also not the only person. Sinister never got a judgment either. Which I think is pretty interesting, that like there's some few people that never got judgments ever from the Axe event.
Yeah.
And it kind of throws a wrench in whether or not they're real people. Maybe Sinister because he's a clone, but also because of Vision because he's not technically human, synthezoid. But I also love Captain Marvel's characterization. I've always had a tough time liking Carol as a character, and this definitely made me enjoy her leading the team. She felt strategic, she felt in charge, but she didn't feel like she was being unnecessarily put on a pedestal, if that makes sense.
She wasn't shoehorned in. She was actually like well written,
Yeah.
good dialogue. Her and Tony agreeing to squash their beef, to lead this team that's bigger than they are, stuff like that.
Yeah. Next up for me is Rogue Sun #13. So this is after the climactic supermassive event that left a lot of characters in interesting places. But Rogue Sun has been a consistent high and good series from the Massiverse. But basically what we left off with is our main character basically has his body possessed by one of his previous ancestors who is like a medieval knight. And he's refusing to relinquish control back to Dylan. So now Dylan's trying to figure out how to warn his family members that he is not in control of his body, while also trying to figure out how to stop this man from ruining his life, because let's be honest, a medieval sexist man taking charge during the modern day is probably not going to end well.
Nightmare scenario.
But yeah, no. And the thing is, people would totally buy that that's just like him, because he's already the bully character-esque in a way, like bully-esque, where he like makes fun of people, but like in a teasing way. So it wouldn't really be that far out of character for him. So people would definitely be like, what the fuck, man?
Next up for me is Batman Superman World's Finest #16. My very good guy.
This book might as well be paying rent in your weekly polls top 5.
Yeah,
at this
pretty
point.
much. We've already said it. This is an amazing World's Finest arc, featuring all my favorite android characters, featuring Metamorpho. All these classics that I really love and enjoy. Dan Mora,
Red Tornado.
Mark Waid. What more can I say?
No, seriously. This is just a perfect duo. I'm so excited for their Shazam stuff. Like their Shazam book has been consistently good. This is even better than that. I'm excited to see where they take Red Tornado, because Red Tornado is one of those characters I always feel is incredibly underutilized and has so much potential.
Yep.
But people just don't want to use him. I think honestly he has the potential to be the Vision of the DC universe, where he is questioning his humanity and he is trying to find his place within it while also realizing the good and the harm he could do.
The only thing I'm missing from this event now is Red Inferno, Red Torpedo, and Red Volcano.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be here eventually.
I hope they pop up.
At this rate, bro, there's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I also love like GI Robot and like Chemo and like basically all these AI like heroes and villains.
I didn't know Chemo was part of this. Was like could be labeled part of this group, so that was cool to see him too.
He's technically a robotic suit, or I guess acid being held together by a robotic suit.
Interesting.
So he's practically like he needs the suit to live. Like he cannot.
I've always loved him and his design, so I'm always down to see more of him.
It's always really sick. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see where this goes. We're really getting the man versus machine treatment here.
Large green translucent mass equals good character.
Basically.
Those are my standards.
Remember Flubber? Does that count as a good character for you?
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, let's keep going. The next series for me is Bone Orchard Mythos Tenement number 1. I have fully reread all of the all the Bone Orchard books, and still just as good as the first time I read them. But yeah, no, 10,000 Black Feathers was a phenomenal start to this universe, like an official start, and this is the second sophomore book, and this team is phenomenal. They know what they're doing. Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino are top 2 at their game, and them working together just makes really, really interesting art and storytelling. And while this one has a very interesting premise, I'm so excited to see how this keeps building on the world without needing to be a book that depends on its connectivity. That makes sense.
Word.
Like the summary is, it's the story of 7 residents in a building and the dark secrets that bind them together, beginning with a death that feels much more sinister than natural. Literally super simple premise, nothing crazy, but I'm so excited to see where they go, because even 10,000 Black Feathers started off fairly simple summary wise, and then it just kept spiraling into this rabbit hole.
Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino. I mean, that's enough for me.
Yeah, no, exactly.
To check
I actually really highly recommend reading their previous Bone Orchard book.
Word.
It's really good.
Will do.
And their next one's apparently going to be called Starseed, which is oh my god, that cover is horrifying. Holy fuck. It's just the moon within a blood red eclipse.
Nice. That brings us to my final pick of this week.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Which is The Incredible Hulk number 1.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein are going to be bringing us a new era of Hulk. I am so hyped to see this. Nick Klein is one of my favorite Stormbreakers, like new Marvel artists to come into the game for a while. He was absolutely killing it with Thor, and I think this will be even more in his wheelhouse. I think he can do the gritty thing really well, and so it looks like he's going to be able to draw some, pretty, hopefully, like, horror, gory kind of shit. Age of Monsters is what they're calling this, and it looks like more of a direct transition from Immortal into a new era because of the horror tie-in. But yeah, I'm super, super excited to see what direction they're going to take the Hulk.
Also, I think this is the first time we've seen Hulk with like long hair, like this specifically.
I think they might have did it in like the 80s or some shit like that. No, he was like Professor Hulk at that time. So
Yeah,
maybe
he always
not.
cut his hair shorter, or like made a mohawk, or
Well,
like
if not,
designed
it's
his
like a
hair.
nice little detail that makes him different, for this volume.
Yeah.
So I like that.
But
Did you
yeah,
read
no,
the
this.
Hulk annual?
Yeah, I did. It was phenomenal. I actually really liked it. I loved the way they told the story was really interesting with like found footage cam.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and I like that this is a direct continuation with the Green Door and the monster and all that. So hopefully we get some form of response on the whole leader thing and all that stuff.
Yeah, hopefully. And I'm really hoping to see a lot of classic Marvel monsters in this book, but treated seriously. Oftentimes they're treated, as silly jokes. But, just like we had Giganto in the annual, I'm hoping that we get more characters like that. But they're treated as like serious threats, or they're part of this like monster group that is hunting the Hulk now. So they're calling him the Fallen Sun, this monster group. So that'll be very interesting to see the mythos that Philip has planned for the Hulk.
Yeah, he's done it phenomenal with Superman in Action Comics, so I only expect good things from this.
Yeah.
Also, what's the name of that kid, that could Kaiju Kid or whatever?
Yeah, Kid Kaiju.
Kid Kaiju. Like, I think that would be an interesting pairing to pair him up with Hulk. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't been done already. Honestly.
I think he probably interacted with Amadeus because he's more, I feel like, more from that era.
Yeah, he was.
But no, that was always like a really cool power set. But I think they made him an Inhuman, so they probably just swept him under the rug after they killed the Inhumans or whatever.
In what? Sorry, I don't understand.
The death of the Inhumans, where they kind of killed them but didn't really kill all of them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
My final pick is Venom 21.
21.
Fucking getting it. Oh my god. We're finally getting it. Bedlam versus Eddie. Last issue was fucking sick. Eddie just like being straight up a Terminator was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that he was just like, he was wearing like, what was it, leather himbo or some shit like that, like as a shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was just so funny, like him being like, I need your clothes, but not below the pants. Go commando.
keep the underwear.
Yeah, he was just like, I don't need it. And then him just riding the motorcycle and just immediately taking off the guy in charge of the town. It was just phenomenal start. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see where his body is at, because he said that he is a human symbiote hybrid.
Well, that's all that was left, was just the skull. That's all that was left of him.
Yeah, the skull and a couple charred bones. So I'm wondering, like, how much of his body, how human is he necessarily? That is my
Right.
grand question. If
He's
like
more
were
human
Sonics
than
to
I
hit him,
thought
would
he
he
was
just
gonna be.
dissolve? Sorry, repeat that.
Sorry, I just said he's more human than I thought he was going to be going forward.
Yeah,
I thought,
I was.
at first they were just going full symbiote when he died, so I was like, all right, surprised.
Yeah,
we're
I
getting
kind
a
of
little bit.
like this though.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, no, I'm very. I think this is great. I'm very happy that it seems to be really picking up, especially after Ram V has seemingly left the book. And the next couple issues are just going to be about Ewing. Until Venom 23, where Torrin Gronbeck is going to be writing. So new person throwing their hat in the ring. And then, oh my god, what the fuck?
They're putting Torrin on like everything. Swear to God.
24 is Jonathan Hickman.
Only?
Like, yeah, he's
Or is it
him
just a
and Ewing,
Gods thing?
bro. Him and Ewing. Oh my god.
It's just the gods. It's just the gods short.
Oh, you're fucking right. Ah,
Yeah, you're going to be seeing
third
Hickman
time
a
this
lot.
has happened to me,
You're going to
bro.
be seeing that name because he keeps putting there's going to be a bunch of God's short stories in the back.
It's funny
of a
how
bunch
it's
of
just a
books.
single page written by Jonathan. It's
Yes.
like, bro.
I get to
Anyway.
go edit this now because I have to be at work all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly polls for June 21st. Were you going to say something? Sorry, I thought you were going to say something the whole time.
I was just gonna, I was just gonna say the outro. That was all.
Well, I did the intro.
Yeah.
Why should you get to do anything?
Go
You
back
can
to
do
your
it if you
corner,
want to.
Lucas.
You can do it if you really want to.
No, you know I don't feel like it anymore. I'm gonna keep this all in, unedited.
Yeah, literally, just to save myself time, I'm just gonna upload the raw file. I'm not even gonna do a thing. Not even gonna edit in the covers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, for June 21st weekly polls. As always, like, subscribe, smash that bell. Don't forget to support your local comic shop and read comics.
See ya.
Tell Lucas what to do now that he's graduated. I'm sure he'll appreciate your comments telling him what to do with his life.
As long as
Stop
you don't tell me to
recording.
live in a dumpster.
Yeah, don't tell him that. That would be mean.